What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. We got another Thursday night football video. We had the Vikings taking on the Chargers in LA. Looking at our free picks from yesterday, they're still going on. It's 9 p.m. Eastern time right now, so the NBA games, some of them are just starting the fourth quarter. But right now we have Donovan Mitchell's already cashed his points. Vucevic has already pretty much cashed PRA. Zion's looking a little rough. I think Zion might be a chalk, to be honest with you. And then Bam's looking like a cash as well. So it's looking like 3 of the 4 props I gave yesterday are going to cash, which looks really, really good. Hopefully, Bam, I think he needs 3 PRA right now to cash us out. So he should be able to do that with 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter. So looking really good on that. I am going to pick a winner from yesterday's video to win a free month of our VIP. So if you're new to the channel, I do this in every single video. If we can get 250 likes in this video, I will pick a random comment down below to win a free month of our VIP. So make sure you guys drop a comment, leave a like on the video. You got to be a subscriber to win, and let's go ahead and pick our winner from yesterday. So the winner is going to be for, drum roll please, and it's going to take 30 minutes to pick a winner, I guess. So this drum roll is going to go on for a while, so it seems. It did this to me the other day, and I had to end up refreshing the entire website, but let's hit refresh. My internet's been really, really slow lately, guys, as well. So I might have to come back to this here in a minute. I do want to say, guys, if you want to get all of our plays, we've been absolutely smashing it this week on both NFL and NBA. You can join up through our WAP. Link is down in the description. You can join our Elite membership, or you can join our regular VIP. Both of them will give you every single pick that I play personally. They're in our Discord. If you're not in the Discord already, join. It is absolutely free to join the Discord. I am going to be posting some extra slips in the Discord exclusives, ones that you won't find on social media or anything like that. We'd love to have you guys a part of that community. So let's see here. So the winner is going to be for the Kenny Project, who said, good luck, everyone. So Kenny, send me a message on Discord. I will get you added for that free month of VIP, my man. I appreciate the love and support from every single one of you guys. And let's go ahead and talk about this game. So I want to go ahead and give a quick disclaimer. I am not fond of this game, man. Chargers versus Vikings. Chargers got some injuries. Vikings got some injuries, some game time decision things for the Vikings as well. Aaron Jones, running back, obviously, has been out. He has potential to play tonight or tomorrow night. So I'm not sure what I want to do. I got 4 plays that I like. I will say that. I'm still iffy on the slate in general. This game is just messy in my opinion. Looking at the odds right now, Chargers are favored -163 at home, -3.5 on the spread, and the total sitting at 44.5. Public betting has this at 76% of the money on the Chargers, 83% of the money on the Chargers to cover the spread, and then 69% of the money on the over on this total. Now, I will say Wentz has been looking pretty good for Minnesota in terms of passing yards. I'm still not sold on this Vikings offense right now. I'm going to be honest with you. The Chargers D has looked hit or miss. And, dude, my internet is so bad. I don't know what is wrong with it. And I'm sorry for this delay. I don't. All right, guys, so while I was waiting for this website to load because of my trash internet, I will say that Vucevic did cash before halftime, so he was absolutely free. And then Bam has 28 PRA, so I need 2 PRA for him, and there's 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter, so Bam's looking pretty good. Zion's got 16 PRA. We need 35 from him to cash. It's not quite halftime yet, but it's looking like it's going to be pretty sweaty if he ends up cashing for us. But let's go ahead and talk about this game, guys. So right now we got the Vikings, who have a 50% win rate right now. They're 3-3. Just come off a loss to the Eagles, 28-22. Looking at the Chargers just lost to the Colts. The Colts have been looking dominant, man. 38-24 loss for the Chargers. They did win the game before that to Miami, 29-27 in Miami, and Miami's looked bad too. So this doesn't even give me much confidence in the Chargers. The Chargers defensively have not looked that good, man. On paper, their numbers don't look bad in terms of how many yards they give up, but overall to these scores, man, they've not looked strong. Lost to the Giants, lost to the Washington 27-10, gave up 27 points to Miami, gave up 38 to the Colts. I feel like the Vikings could put up some numbers. Now, that's iffy because the Vikings are so bad on offense, in my opinion. Jordan Mason, I think, is going to have a good game. Let's take a look at some of these plays. Let's take a look. So, for this game, I'll go back. Hopefully it loads. Okay. So, for this game, I want to take the Chargers to win because I just don't trust the Vikings, especially in LA. But it wouldn't surprise me if the Vikings won. I'm going to be honest. This was kind of coin flip for me. I'm leaning Chargers. If I had to pick a winner, I'm just going to throw it out there. I'm just going to say Chargers win. Let's look at these two teams offensively and defensively. So Minnesota so far averaging 319 yards per game on offense. 104 of those being rushing yards, 20th ranked rushing offense in terms of yards per game. Looking at passing yards, they get around 215, so kind of middle of the pack, 17th in the league in terms of passing yards per game. If you look at the defense for the Chargers, they give up 316 yards per game on average, 123 of those being rushing yards, and then 192 of those being passing yards. So a top 10 passing defense in terms of yards per allowed, and then almost a bottom 10 in terms of rushing yards allowed. So in terms of points allowed, the Vikings are averaging 24 points per game on offense, and then the Chargers are giving up 23 points. So this one could be kind of a high-scoring game. If you look at the opposite side of things, so the Chargers offense, they're averaging almost 373 yards per game on offense, which is the fourth-ranked offense in the league. And they also get 111 rushing yards and 261 passing yards. So they've been airing the ball out with the third most passing yards per game on average. If you look at the defense for the Minnesota Vikings, they're averaged 302 yards per game, which is the top 10 defense, 117 being rushing yards, and then passing yards being 184. So top 10 passing defense so far this season. The Vikings defense has held up through the air, struggled a little bit on the ground. We're gonna find out some things about these two teams in this game, I do believe. So we're gonna find out how bad the Chargers defense really is lately, and then as of now, and then we're gonna find out how good their offense is versus defense that's been pretty good through the air. So looking at points per game for the Chargers, averaging almost 22 points per game, and then the Vikings giving up around 21. So right now this game is projected 23 to 24.5 for the Chargers to win. That's based off of what Covers has here. I don't really go by that too often, but I do think that it's going to be a close game and could be pretty high scoring. Total for the game at 44.5. I lean the over. I lean the over. If I was going to play a teaser on this game, my teaser would probably be over 37.5, and then I would throw in like maybe Chargers plus 3.5. So the Chargers get 3.5 points, and then over the total at 37.5. I think that's what I would be leaning on. You could argue under 51.5. I wouldn't say that's a bad play either. So over or under on this for a teaser would be pretty good. And then I like the Chargers, but I mean Minnesota plus 10.5. This game's probably going to be pretty close. So I think you could run it either way and potentially cash out either way you run that, or any way that you want to run it, over and under, or Minnesota or Chargers. So that's kind of, I know that sounds pretty stupid to say, but it could potentially happen. That being said, let's go ahead and jump into some player props, guys. I got 4 picks I'm going to talk about. 3 of these are coming from the Chargers side of things. I just want to say that there's not a lot on Minnesota right now that I like, but there's not much for me to it really just depends on the injury news with Aaron Jones. That's why I'm trying to stay away from this Minnesota offensive side of things just a little bit. So let's go ahead and talk about this. So the first pick I want to talk about is going to be for our man Vidal. So I'm going to take our man Kimani Vidal, the running back for the Chargers. I like him to give us 73.5 rushing receiving yards. Now, you can play this as his original line, or you can buy it down to 59.5. 59.5 for me is going to be a lot safer, in my personal opinion. I like that play a lot. It shows 75.5 on here. It should be 73.5 unless it... Sheesh, dude. This thing has bumped 4 points in like 30 minutes. I don't want to take 77.5. I'm not taking a 4-point bump. I'm going to buy it down to 59.5. I mean, legitimately at 8:54, I posted in my free picks chat that I was going to take that play over 73.5, and yeah, it's been 30 minutes, less than 30 minutes actually, and it has been bumped 4. So I'm just going to run with the 59.5. I'm pulling up on parlay play, and we'll take a look and see what they got it at. Let's see here. Vidal, rushing receiving yards. You can get him as original line at 76.5. So you could take him at 69.5 on parlay play if you wanted. I don't think that's bad, but 59.5 on Prizepicks is kind of what I'm leaning towards. So looking at this play a little bit more in depth, obviously Hoskins is out. O'Mary and Hampton's still on injury reserve, so get rid of those, and they don't really have any running backs. He's going to be the main go-to guy. If you look at his last 2 games, he had 138 rushing receiving yards versus Miami. He got held to 35 versus the Colts, but they were also down. So if you look at rush attempts, he had 18 versus Miami. He only had 9 versus the Colts. In terms of targets, you can come over here to targets, had 4 targets versus Miami and 5 versus the Colts. So he's been getting a lot of targets, a lot of rush share. Looking at this Minnesota defense, they give up 102 rushing yards per game to the running back position, or 24th ranked defense, and then they give up 25 receiving yards to the running back, which is the top 10, but still 25 receiving yards to a running back is a good amount, especially when the line's sitting around 60 to 75, almost a third of it gone. I think he has a good game. 65% of their plays are going to be passing plays. 35 is going to be running plays. So obviously they're definitely a pass-heavy offense. But I do think Vidal could have a good game, and I think that you could get some value here, especially 59.5 over here on Prizepicks. I like that play a lot. So that being said, jumping into the second play of the day, I'm going to take our man Cam Dicker. So Dicker, the kicker. You have two plays you can play here. You can play his field goals made or his PAT. I personally think both cash. I think they score 20 points. I think they do kick 2 field goals, and I think they get 2 extra points. I like extra points a little bit better. It's not going to be as high as a payout as field goals made, but I do think the Chargers are able to move the ball on the Vikings, even though the Vikings defense has been okay. If you look at Minnesota's extra points defense, they give up right at 2.3 extra points per game. If you look at our man Dicker, he's cashed this in 5 of 7 games on the season, so 71% hit rate. The only 2 he didn't get this on was versus the Giants and versus Washington, which is 2 kind of mid defenses. So kind of crazy. Those are the 2 that they didn't score on. They did score 3 versus the Colts and then 2 versus Miami. Hopefully, we don't get some blocked PAT or anything like that. But Cam Dicker, I mean, he's one of my favorite plays on the board. PATs is a pretty good play in my opinion, and I've been running these a lot for these NFL games, and they've been cashing me a lot. I've cashed way more than I missed on these PAT props. Now, obviously, you can't play these 2 together. If you want to take Vidal at 77.5 rushing receiving yards to get his original line, you're more than welcome. You can't take Dicker on parlay play either, so you got to remember that. It's only on Prizepicks and some of the bigger, more popular apps right now. But PATs, 1.5, Cam Dicker. I like that play a lot. Jumping into our third pick of the day, it's going to be for the Minnesota side of things. I'm going to take their kicker. We're going to take our man Will Richard, or Reichard, however you want to say his name, over 1.5 field goals made. So I'm going to be taking him. Field goals made, 1.5. So far, Minnesota has cashed this line 5 of 6 games on the season. They just had 5 field goals versus the Eagles. The Eagles' defense has not been stellar. I'm going to be honest with you. So Minnesota struggling to score or punch it in is a good thing for this field goals made prop, in my opinion. If you look at the Chargers' field goals made defense, they give up over 2 field goals per game, a bottom 5 defense in terms of field goals allowed. If you look at our man Will, he's averaging 2.3 attempts per game. He's made 96% of his attempts. His longest field goal made on average is 45.3, and he's kicked a 62-yarder this season, and then 2 59-yarders. So he's been kicking really, really well. I like the odds here for him to give us 2. If you come over here to Prizepicks, go to field goals made, you put this field goals made prop on here, you can have a 2.6x if you play these 3 together. Now, if you want to take one of them out, I think this is below a 2x without. It's right on it, right at a double up with Cam Dicker as loan. So I love this slip. It's another kicker slip. I like it a lot. I know the last one ended up chalking on us, but I think we missed a PAT prop that should have cashed. Regardless of that, I like it a lot, and I'm going to be locking it in. So that's going to be pick number 3. We're about to jump into our 4th and final pick of the day. I do want to say, guys, I will have an NBA video in the morning, so make sure you guys are up bright and early for that one. I'm going to have 2 videos from now on NFL and NBA days, just because I think that it's going to help the channel a lot, and I'm just going to put in the extra work and do that. But so you'll have 4 more free picks tomorrow, as well as potentially some money lines if you want to play those. But anyway, jumping to our final pick for NFL, it's going to be for our man Ladd McConkey. So we're going to take our man McConkey. We're going to take him over 3.5 to 5 receptions. You can play whichever one you want. I like his receptions a little bit better than his targets. You can get him at 5 or over 4, or I think it's 5 on the dot on Prizepicks, unless it's been bumped in the last 30 minutes like the other prop was. So let's take a look here. So McConkey is at 5 receptions. You can take him at 5, or you can take him at 3.5. If you take him at 3.5, you got a 2.2x. If you take him at 5, you have a 3.25x. Now, I just saw a 4.5 on here. 4.5 is probably what I would take. It's a 2.75x. That way you don't have push potential. I'd probably just take the 4.5 over that. I know it shows a goblin, but the payout's not that bad. If you were to play it with Will, you have a 2.5x for these. So you guys can kind of play around with them however you want. I'm going to come over here to McConkey. We're going to lock in this slip live. So I'm going to take McConkey over. We're still going to put 4.5 receptions. I'm going to get rid of our man Vidal. Okay, come on, bro. Get rid of our man Vidal here, and we're going to go and lock in our boy Will. Field goals made. This is going to be a 2.5x. 250 is going to win you 622, and I'm going to be playing this one. I'll probably lock in that kicker slip as well, on like underdog or Prizepicks, depending on which one has the better value. I will go check, but this is a good slip, man. I like this slip a lot. I think it cashes this out. I'm locking it in right now live. You can see 250 wins us 622. Now I got a bunch of picks going on right now. Hopefully they end up cashing. Hopefully my bankroll will be over like $6,000 tomorrow for NBA, but we'll find out. That being said, I like that play a lot. I like all 4 of these a lot. My least favorite of the 4 is going to be our man Vidal's rushing receiving yards. If you wanted to fade one, that's the one I like the least. So if you want to play Dicker, Reichard, and then McConkey together, you can lock those in. And I like that play, or I like that slip a lot. And that would give us a, let's see here. So McConkey at 4.5, PAT at 1.5. This gives us what, 2.75x? Is that what it was? 2.75x. If you throw 150 on here, you'd win 412.50, which might be what I end up playing for this slip. So we'll see. I probably won't play McConkey again, so I just locked it in for 250 on parlay play, but we'll play these other 2 together for sure on one of these platforms. But that's what I've got for today, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. I know it was a little bit quicker. Kind of got through this a little bit faster. There's not a lot on the board that I like. A lot of injury news I'm still trying to wait for just to see what happens for the Viking side of things. But I think the game stays close. I think it's competitive. Not super stoked about the game personally, especially with NBA, man. There's so much going on with NBA. I think tomorrow is just a 2-game slate. So tomorrow will be a little bit lighter on NBA. But tonight, man, this like 12-game slate or whatever it is freaking crazy. And we have picks all over the place. So I'm hoping it ends up being a good day. But once again, guys, join our Discord if you're not in there already. Sign up for any of our partnered apps down below. If you want a free month of VIP, you can get up to 7 full months for free. If you sign up for any one, just let me know on Discord, and I'll get you guys added. But hope you guys have an awesome day, and I'll see y'all in tomorrow's video.